Man, it's cold outside. I have to go back out there again. Let's see here. Okay, so we're live, and my name is Willie Kirby from Kirby's Investment Club, LLC. Let's talk about credit. The thing is this. When you're paying your credit card bills, you're paying any kind of bill. It could be credit, it could be your Pico bill, it could be your whatever kind of bill, any kind of bill you have, your car note, especially your car note. This is the problem most people have and why everything's out of whack. If you pay 7 to 10 days early, did you know that they have to cut the interest? That's number one. Sometimes your payment is cut. It's always better to pay earlier than wait till the day you actually have to pay your bill, because you're paying their interest. You're paying the bank's interest, and you're paying more than what you're supposed to be paying. And this is what a lot of people don't understand. If you try, I know it's hard to do this, but if you try, let's say your bill is due the 1st. No, let's say your bill is due the 20th. But you pay your bill the first week between the 1st and the 5th. They got to cut a lot of interest. Now, they have to report that back to the credit agencies. Once they report that back, the credit agency says, okay, that person paid their bill early. Now you're tripling your points because you've paid early. Now, then you turn around and pay it with a card that's connected to your Experian account. That's going to give you even more points. Banks like that. Now, once all that is in process, it's going back to the bank because they need to know that information. The reason why they need to know that information, because they're going to say, okay, this person deserves a loan. This person deserves a bigger credit limit. That's how you get a bigger credit limit. Not by any tricks you see on YouTube with trade lines. Come on, people. You can do it yourself. Pay your bills early. Now, once they see a period of that. Hold on one second. Once they see that going on, after several months, they're going to send you a pre-approved letter. The letter's going to say, well, we want to give you a credit increase, or we want to give you a pre-approved loan. Now, it's a difference. Now, most people, just because you get these letters, don't jump right into it. Look at the APR. The APR measures your credit. If you know your credit is let's say 5 something, and the APR says 8%, you're not going to get approved. But let's just say your credit's 6 something, I would say between 580 and 680, if your credit ranges from that. More than likely, your APR is between 19% to about 23%. But the letter you receive says a 19% interest. Now, 19% APR. Then you'll be approved for that loan. So it's all about stop applying for stuff that you're never going to get. Look at the APR, because then you can say, oh, you know what? I'm going to be approved for this because the APR matches my credit. A lot of people don't know that APR. And this is why they keep on applying for stuff, applying, and getting denied. Because this is something nobody teaches you. Nobody tells you you have to know your APR before you apply for something. You're standing in line at the store at Kohl's, let's say Kohl's, right? And the APR on Kohl's card, usually I think the APR is on a Kohl's card is like between 19 and 23%. But you know your credit is like 5 something. You're gonna get denied. I don't care what you put on there. You can lie and say this, say that. You're gonna get denied because the computer system goes by the APR. Flat. There's no tricks, no nothing. They want to see an APR. Plain and simple. When I apply for something, that's the first thing I look for. I look for the APR because then I know if I'm going to be approved, denied, or whatever. Yeah. So it's all about the APR. Now, as far as getting those triple points, if you pay your stuff on time, pay your stuff early. Listen, even if you pay it 5 days early, you're still going to see something. You know what I'm saying? That's the magical. That's the gift I give to you because what you're doing, you're saving money. Number one, you're adding more points to your credit file. And if you keep on, and every time you do this, it's adding more and more and more. Your credit is an investment. You're adding value. That's what you're doing. There's so many different channels. They tell you this, tell you that, different tricks. And guess what? The tricks works for a second, and then bam, your score drops. You want to be able to keep your score rising. In order to do that, you have to use 1, the master list. 2, techniques I provide. And guess what? These are legal techniques. Listen, the rich use these techniques. Why do you think people are so rich? Because they use certain techniques. Legal techniques. That's something just thrown on YouTube, and it's going to work for a month or two, and it's gone. If you want a steady drive of points, you have to use certain things that's going to get you there. No wishing, no hoping, but guaranteed things that was going to increase your score. I had a guy call me the other day. He said, Lorenzo, I got 250 points because he used the double card. Hold on, let me get it right. Double card, secure card method. You get 2 secure cards, the same secure card, but it only works for 1 card. He got 2 of those cards. He said, apply for 1, waited 24 hours, got another one. And he says, in 14 days, he said, Lorenzo, he said, it was amazing. He said, you are. He was like real hype. He said, Lorenzo, he said, you are the greatest. And listen, it's not about being the greatest. It's about information. Information is the key to life. Now, I told him, I said, you got lucky to get 250 points because usually you're supposed to get from 84 to 200 points. But this is the key. Once you get those points, you can actually get more points. Now your points are going to double every month. You got those 2 secure cards. That's like having a trade line. No, matter of fact, that's like having a super trade line. Because now, if you keep that card in good condition, there's a difference. 2 secure cards versus 1 trade line. The 2 secure cards is going to do way more because it's going to last for a lifetime. As long as you keep that card, those 2 cards in good shape, guess what's going to happen? You're going to see multiple points for those cards. A trade line, after 60 days, bam, you're shut down. That's it. You're not getting nothing else on that trade line. It might stay dormant on your report. That's about it. But a trade line, oh, it's beautiful. But a 2 secure cards is going to put your credit score in places it's never been. Never been. Listen, I had a lady tell me, Lorenzo, my first set of points was 115. Then I got another 100 and something. She said 7 days later. So you're getting massive points, number one. You're getting a repeat of points every 2 weeks to a month. As long as you keep that, as long as you keep those two cards in good shape. Now, if you want to, listen, if you want to do this, I mean, it's going to cost you, I'm not going to lie to you, it's going to cost you $400. But it's just like buying a trade line. And guess what? With a trade line, you got to wait. With these cards, 7 to 10 days, your first set of points. Then you get more points. Then after that, every two weeks to a month, you're getting more points. As long as you leave that card at 30% or lower, you're getting massive. You're tripling your points. You're getting between 20-something to 30-something points or higher every month. You see what I'm saying? So that's working for you. Now, let's say you pay rent. If you pay rent, you're looking at 65 points plus. Plus, then you get points every month you pay rent. Why pay rent and not gain something from it? Now, if you need the link for that, no problem. No problem. If you need credit repair today, text me 610-470-8992. You can also go to my website, which is www.kirby'screditkingdom.yolasite.com. If you need the information, let's see. It's actually in the description box. Or just text me and I can text you the information on the secure card method, the rent, getting points for your rent. Now the rental, how it works is you get 65 points. Then every month you get additional points every time you pay your rent, because what happens is it's reported. So it's so many different tools. Now, let's say you pay for Hulu, Disney, Amazon Prime, what's the other one? Netflix. You get points for that. Listen, they have it now where you can get points for anything. Anything that you are paying for that has a duplicate payment. You're always making payments. Boom, boom, boom. So it's amazing. Credit is amazing. But you gotta know the correct information. There's so much information out there, and there's so many people making videos, But the first thing I want to tell you, get a trade line, get a trade line, get a trade line. Trade lines only last 60 days. You want something that's going to last a lifetime. If you, just like I said, if you're doing it right, listen, the secure cards can last a lifetime. Your credit, and not just that, it's easily to build your score up to 800 with the right things, the right services. You can have. It's possible. How do I do that? I put the wrong website up there. Okay, so it's easy. It's easier than you think. But this is the problem. Most people don't have the extra money. So I tell most people, you know what? Get one card at a time. Write out a plan, a strategy. You say, I'm going to get this app this month, that app the next month, or the next pay. And guess what? Now, don't think of it as, oh, I got to spend all this money. Bah, 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 bah. No, it's an investment to your future. Because let's say down the road, let's say a year down the road, you say, well, I need a loan, and your scores are messed up. And you know what you're going to think? You're going to say, you know what? I should have listened to Mr. Kirby back, such and such, when he told me about these different links. And guess what? It's going to be in the back of your head. It's an investment. Matter of fact, credit is the greatest investment you can invest in, because you're investing in yourself, you're investing in your kids' future, your wife's future, your girlfriend's future, or whoever. This is something that has to be done. It's especially if the government changes its strategy and say, okay, now for food, you need your credit. Now for medication, you need credit. If that ever happens, hopefully it doesn't. But if it was to happen, ask yourself, what would you be in a position to be okay? You got to ask yourself that. If you need a business loan, you know what I'm saying? So adding these things to your credit is going to increase your score. You want to be able to increase your score. You want to be able to cut the interest, especially on your car note. If you have a car note, this method cuts the interest and lowers your payments at the same time. So there's so many different methods out there that you can use. Now, most people say, okay, so I want to get a trade line. Now you're going to pay $700 for a trade line. For a good trade line, you're going to pay $700, right? And that trade line is going to last you 2 months. Versus the $400 you're going to have to pay for 2 cards, and those cards is going to last you a lifetime. Do the math. What is going to be more successful? What is going to give you more? I'm gonna tell you something. Something real. If you take both, trade line is going to give you some nice points, but one time, and then after 60 days, it drops off, and then it's a possibility that your score is going to drop because the trade line is dormant now. It's not giving nothing else. After those 60 days, that's it. It's just sitting there. It's sitting there. That's it. With the 2 secure cards, they keep on giving. They're like Santa Claus. Just keeps on giving. Yeah, every year. So, is it worth it? You have to ask yourself, is it worth it? To me, it's worth it. I mean, because every time I look at my phone beat, my score's going up. The method works. And the problem is that you can listen to me all day long, but guess what? If you call any credit card company and you ask them, well, if I had 2 of your cards, they would tell you, yes, it does work. You call anybody. You can call Capital One. You call Credit One. You can call, you can call anybody. They'll tell you it works. And the first thing they'll tell you is stay away from trade lines. Trade lines are for people that are in a rush to do something quick. And they have to do it right away because in 60 days, the trade line is going to fall off. So if that's you, then, you need a trade line. But I'd rather sell somebody a secure card versus a trade line. Because number one, it's going to put you in a better position in the future, down the road. If you're one of these people that need something quick in the next 30 days, then I suggest a trade line. But then after the 60 days is up, that's it. Now banks are getting smarter. Banks are getting smarter because they know what a trade line. They know the difference between an active trade line. And what I mean by active is this. Let's say you got a trade line. Let's say you got a $5,000 credit account and you're constantly spending boom, 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 boom. You're going to see activity. With a trade line that you buy, you're going to see very slow activity, and then it's going to be in a different state. And it's going to look good on your credit report, but the activity is not showing. That's how the banks know that you bought that trade line. But it doesn't even matter because they're looking at certain things on your credit report. Number one, banks are looking at red flags, extra names, extra addresses, stuff like that. They're looking at collections. They're looking at hard inquiries. So those are the three things the banks are looking for. If you have like 5 hard inquiries, then they really don't care. You know what I'm saying? It's it is what it is. Collections, they don't want you to have no collections. And red flags, they don't want you to have no red flags. Red flags are the easiest thing to come off your credit report. I mean, if you can't get your red flags off, then there's a problem. Red flags are the first thing we target. We do a 24-hour sweep, then we do 3 additional sweeps. So with the 24-hour sweep, the red flags come off. Now, if there's still red flags on it, I did notice that some people still have red flags. So what happens is with the first 30 days, with the first sweep from the 90-day cycle, those red flags come off. So sometimes, they do pop back on, because what happens is every time you apply for anything, your name pops up on your credit report over and over. Okay, how many things you apply? If you apply for an apartment, a house, credit card, some kind of credit account, it's added to your account. So that's why every year you should always get your red flags updated. Get them removed. You should only really have 3 addresses, 1 name on your credit report. That's it. Oh, I gotta go. I know that. I have a meeting at. Oh man, I'm late. But if you need credit repair, text me 610-470-8992. Those of you that need the master list, text me 610-470-8992. And also for those that are, okay, December is approaching. And a lot of people are behind in bills and rent. There's a number you can call in your state to get funding, up to $4,000 in funding. If you don't have that number already, I can get it for you. Excuse me. Text me 610-470-8992, and I'll be more than happy to help you. The funding, each state received 1.7 million as a state stimulus under the CARES Act. So, the money's there, just in case you know somebody that's behind their mortgage, behind their rent, behind their water bill, their electric bill. So that's about that. So I just want to put that out there. Our company is helping promote the actual funds that's available. So if you need help, reach out to me. Let's see what else. Oh, if you're trying to get a nonprofit organization certificate, it's called a 501c3 certificate. We sell those. We sell the service for $79. And if you're also trying to get an LLC, so those are $79 fee. On our other website, on our international website, which is BIGCHANGERSITE.com. That's also in the description. Let's see. Profit certificates. And let's see. Okay, so nonprofit certificates and LLCs. Let's see. Okay, so that's also added on there. So, if for any reason, any part of the video that you need questions answered or need help with, you can always text me at 610-470-8992. Now, a lot of people have Identity IQ, and then a lot of people have Credit Sesame and some other ones. Experian usually gives you minute-to-minute changes. I would suggest that you look on you have Experian and Credit Karma, because Credit Karma is a little faster sometimes it's a little slower, but then Experian's usually okay. Sometimes they take their sweet time. So a lot of times, and always refresh your Experian, because a lot of times your points are there, but you don't see them. You have to refresh it. There's an area on your right-hand side, hit the refresh, and it'll update your score. So that's actually another problem that, I have addressed with Experian. They said they are working on it, to automatically refresh your file. So it's always good to know your score. Okay, so let's see here. Oh, look, you know what? I gotta be. I'm like a half an hour late. If you need any services, text me 610-470-8992. If you're dealing with any issues, contact me as well. I deal with a lot of people, a lot of different companies, a lot of organizations that assist in many different things. So just reach out to me. Thank you and have a blessed day.